What's going on, crypto fam? Today is Sunday, April 3rd. Uh, End of the week for Bitcoin, end of the week for the altcoins. New week starts today. What do we expect to happen? Right? Is Bitcoin going to 50,000 in April? Is it going to 55,000 in April? Is it going to 60,000 in April? Or are we going to go all the way back down to 40,000? Let's take a look at that real quick. So we didn't do much last week with Bitcoin. Let's go into the weekly. All right, so we are coming down a little bit. We lost like 1% over the previous week's close, and now we're coming down a little bit more. Right, I'd like to see it just come down slowly, maybe even another week into tax season, and then I'd expect to see this thing rip. Now, why do I say that? Well, let's look at the daily first. So the daily looks like it's just trading sideways too. We came down, we had the run, we came down, tested the 44,000 area like I expected, bounced right off of it, and now we look like we're coming down a little bit more. We got the warning signal that we might be coming down, and we might be coming down to the key distance still, or we might be testing this 44,000 area. But I think most likely we're just going to trade sideways for a little bit. And then in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in 5 days, the key distance is going to start coming up, right? As long as we don't break below. As long as we don't break below 37,000 in the next 5 days, then the key distance is going to start coming up, and I think what'll happen is where's right. So this will just come down slowly like this, and then this will start rising over here, and I'll meet it, and then we'll bounce off of it. That is what I'm expecting on a daily. But going back into why I think Bitcoin's going to do well this month, I didn't want to do that. So generally, in the month of April, Bitcoin has really good months. In the last 10 years, there are only 3 years out of those 10 years that Bitcoin has had a negative month. And they weren't drastically negative. They were all less than 3% loss in the month of April. Now, 4 of those years, 4 of the last 10 years, Bitcoin has seen over 30% profits in the month of April. One of those years, we had 50% plus gains in the month of April. And 2 years, we had single-digit gains in the month of April. I think one was 7.5%, and the other one was just a little over 1.5 or something like that. So April's always been a good month for Bitcoin, and I think where we are right now, I think Bitcoin's going to continue up and test the 50,000 area, and if we could break it, continue on to the 55,000 area. Now, from where we are right now, if Bitcoin had a 30% month, what would that look like? Well, put us somewhere around 60 grand. So I'm pretty bullish on Bitcoin, and I think once Bitcoin breaks above the 3-day cloud, which is at 50,000, I'll probably be going all in on Bitcoin. And I might even do it early, to be honest with you, because generally, once Bitcoin's above the cloud on the daily, I generally go 100% in on Bitcoin. But I want to see this start to develop a stable uptrend, like this, where we're just continuing up, and the Kijisen and Tengen are kind of moving up with it. So once this Kijisen starts moving, I might just put everything 100% into Bitcoin, and When I trade my altcoins, I'll go into the trades from Bitcoin into the altcoins, and then back into Bitcoin. And that is generally what I do. Whenever price is below the cloud, I usually go all into USD. And when I take an altcoin trade, I take it from USD into the altcoin and then back to USD. And when we're above the cloud, then I usually go all in on Bitcoin, and I take my trades from Bitcoin into the alt and back into Bitcoin. So that is the position I'm very close to pulling the trigger on. So let's move on to the altcoins. Let's look at the coins we got into the past week and what they're doing. All right, so AVAX, we put this signal out on 30th, right? 30th. So that would be on this candle here. And since then, AVAX has went up 8.3%, and now it's pulled back, and we're still in this this yellow area right here. We want to see it break out, and I still think we will see that, right? So we got rejected, pulled above it. We've been holding it for the last 4 or 5 days, and I think we'll eventually see a breakout above it. So nothing to do with AVAX. I'm still holding it, not in a very profitable position right now. I'm actually down 1% on it over the last 5 days, but it's still just moving sideways. Comp had a good day. So we were talking about comp back here on the 30th, and I said, probably going to see continuation up to $180. I said you could take the 2%. Well, the better thing to do would have been take 1% here and try to catch it when we retested the line. So take 1% risk here, just in case you wanted to keep running. Take 1% if it came back here. So you would have had 2% in this trade at roughly 152 buy-in, right? And we were looking for 180. So we got a good run today, right? So had you did that, you would have been as high up as 14.5%, and now it's pulling back a little bit. But I think we'll see continuation on it. So nothing to do with this. Nothing telling me I should be out of this right now. It's looking good. Link, I'm up about 21% on. Why did this come out of here? Yep, Link I'm up 21% on right now. I'm looking for it to break the cloud here and continue on up. I would like to see some retracement back down before it does that, but I'm holding, nothing to do. New, we got in on the 1st, I believe. Yeah, so on this candle, went as high as 9.8%, and now since then it's pulled back a little bit. This thing looks like it'll probably just continue on upwards, but if it does break back below the Kijitsun, I'd be looking for a move all the way back down to 40 cents. So I'd probably drop it if that happened, if we broke below the Kijitsun. But as of right now, price is above the Tenkan-sen and Kijitsun. Just got the flip, so we may be seeing a rise, and the Chico Span's still above price. So I think this will continue on, even if it does it slowly. Or we may just get one of these, start getting these huge wicks coming in. We'll see. Nothing to do with it now, though. OMG, we took on well, I got to stop saying we took, because I don't take every trade I put out there. I tell you what's signaling. It's up to you to decide which ones you think are the best out of the few that I put out. But you know, I only put on a certain amount of risk, and if I'm already at that risk, I usually won't put on more trades. You know, but if I just took profits on something and I still have you know, another 2% risk to throw into something, then I will take one of those coins. But the other night when we put LCX, Band, NU, and OMG, I took OMG and I took LCX, I believe. No, I just took OMG. That was the only one I took. And then the video before that, we put AVEX, RLC, OXT, CVC, Comp, SOL, and OGN. And the only ones I took on that were AVAX and Comp. Right? I don't think I took anything else. And I did take new on the video, the very last video. So OMG I took on this candle right here. Right now we are break even. It went up, I think it went up like 7%, 6-7%, and then we are back. Yeah, went up 6.5%, and now it's back at break even on it. Ren, I took some of my profits off. Ren may be seeing a move back to Kijinsen right now before we see another leg up. But I did take some profits off, and I'm still 11% in profit on it. And I still only have 50% of my trade in. Let's go down to Badger. Badger gave us a signal here, which we got in. Well, I didn't get in, but had I gotten in, I would have been in here. Would have been in profit as high as 14%, and right now you'd still be in profit about 7.75%. Band gave us a signal on this one, which went up 10.7%, and now you'd be back somewhere around 3%, 2.5%. Dot gave us a signal tonight, but with the rest of the market the way it is, and I think we're going to see a lot of retracements over the next few days, and then another leg up. I'm going to wait. I think that'll come back down to the breakout area, which is about 22.45, 22.46. I'd be looking to pick up some there, maybe, or you could just wait till we break out his box, which is at 23.80. Right? Because until we get above this, we're probably just going to get stuck here and bounce back and forth. But Dot was signaling tonight. Let me just make sure. Yeah, so we got the green above the, well actually, this blue area right here, you generally want to see this rising when you get into it. And it is kind of declining. So it's probably going to go sideways for a little bit, but Dot is looking like it's going to make a move soon. LCX. So LCX, the only reason why I was liking it is because we had the big move. It had already retraced back to the 60% Fibonacci. And generally, if it's going to bounce, this is where it's going to bounce from. Right? I'm not liking it as much as I did a few days ago. And if you did take it, you'd be pretty much at break even. So I don't think I'd continue holding this if I were in it. You know, if anything, I'd wait for a fresh signal to get in. Civic had a good run. We were looking to take it when it broke this. I was in other things at the time, so I didn't take it, but this was the candle to take. Right here, you would have been a nice profit. Right now, it's telling you one of two things, depending on how you like to play the system. Right? I generally like to buy down here at the first time I get the signal, and when I start getting orange signals is when I start taking profits. Right? So right here I would take 35 or 50% profit, looking for it to come retrace and then next leg. Because if I take 50% profit and it's looking like it's going to bounce off here, I could actually put some more in and take it another leg, right? But if you're not in this, like let's say you love CVC and you think it's gonna, you know, reverse from here and continue on up, the yellow is telling you it's probably retracing here. So you're looking for your buy-in right here, right? You want to try to buy in at 33, put your stop loss right under here, and look for it to take its next leg. So it depends on how you like to play it. Like I said, I like to buy in down here and start taking profits as it's moving up. OGN gave us a signal on the 30th. So the 30th was on this one. All right, and since then it's came back down. Right, so we wouldn't have been profitable on this one. Right now we'd be not much. Yeah, actually 11% in the hole on this one. And I still think it could come back down to the 50, and the longer this stays flat, the more likely this thing's going to come back down to even the 61 and 66. So I'm not liking OGN right here. I'd probably be dumping it, because if you're going to hold this some more, you're looking at possibility of another 6.7% drop. And if it drops further than that, you're definitely going to want to drop it, right? Because then you're below the Tankitson, you're below the Kijitson. So that would be definitely my signal to get out of this. Right? But if you don't want to take the loss and you want to hold it, just understand you might be taking a bigger loss if you wait for it to break the Kijitson. OXT had a good day today. So this told us to get in on the 30th. Right, so it would have been on this candle, and it would have went as high as 16%, and now it's retracing. You'd still be in 5% profit. But it did look like it came up to the 200 and rejected off of it. So I could see, and look, we have this trend line from here. So rejected, came up, looks like a rejection to me, right? We weren't able to break through it. Maybe we're going to come down and kind of do one of these, right? And make a head and shoulders and try to break it over here as the 200 comes down into it. So OXT, you could do what you want. I'd probably be taking some profits here just based on that. Right? If you didn't sell when you came up here, I think now is probably, or at least wait till it breaks the Tankitson. Right? Until we break the Tankitson, we're technically still in an uptrend. Let me just erase that. RLC. So RLC still going. We still haven't broke the green box, right? I took it based on this signal when we broke the previous right here, broke through, kind of been just going sideways, and you'd probably be pretty much even on this too right now. Let's see. Did it on 30th. So we got in here, went as high as 7.5, almost 8%, and now we're back at 2.6 in profit. Sol, same thing. We got the signal on the 30th, went as high as 19%. And has since retraced a little bit, right? You'd still be in about 11.5% profit on it, but nothing's really telling us to get out right now, right? Everything's still above the Keynesian, still above the Tankinson, everything's still in an uptrend. We do look like we're getting a little tired, and we're going to come down for a little bit of a break and then possibly move on. But I'm really not concerned with anything, right? There's only one coin that we've gotten into over the last week that has told us to, which was what? CBC? Told us to take, and this day's not closed yet. This thing could, by tomorrow morning, be all the way back up here. So nothing to do with any of these coins yet, right? Just as long as we're light blue candle, stay in it. We're in an uptrend. Right? You can take profits whenever you want. Nobody will fault you for taking some profits off the table. So that's where I stand now. I think I'm in enough coins right now. I'm not taking any new positions on just yet. But as I take some profits off of these, I'll be looking for other things to get into. Let's look at now I told you that was one of the ones that was signaling tonight, and there's one more. Doge, I believe. Doge was giving me a signal. Where's Doge? So Doge was breaking above the cloud. I had my signal here. Right now it looks like it's coming back down to the Tankinson, but we did get the cross on the cloud. The Chico span's above price. Tankinson's above the Kijisen, price above both. Doge is looking like it's about to make a move. So I'd be expecting a move over the next week back up to 16.5%, 16.5 cents. And to the downside, we probably hold this area, which is at 13.27. But that's all I have for you tonight, guys. I will, I think we're going to get a day or two of pullback and then continuation. We'll see what happens over the next few days. If that doesn't happen and I wake up tomorrow morning and everything's flying, then, we'll probably have some more signals for you tomorrow. But as of right now, I think we're just going to, take a little bit of sideways action, and we'll look at it over the next few days. All right, so be well, trade safe, and have a good night. Talk to you soon.